It is the Friday night, brought to you by Erdinger, and we're in another Erdinger pub, and it's the beautiful Marboyles, one of the most historic pubs in Liverpool. I don't think we've been this place before to do this. I've been here several times. The pub's been here since 1860. It is an absolute banger, just right by St Nicholas Church. So if you're in that part of town and you're not from here normally, do come in. They've been lovely to us, and it's a nice old pub. You found it tricky to find over a while since you've been here. There's a few little side roads and stuff like that. And
yeah, we basically just walked right past it and ended up on the other side of town and then was late, so it was sad.
So be a little bit careful, it is up a side street, but well worth finding out. But what I want to talk about is, Rob, how do Liverpool win the league from here? There's 19 games gone, we're top. How do we win it?
Slightly up our points per game ratio, I think. I think we're tracking about 2.2 a game, which is about an 84-point win. If the table stays as it is pro rata, we win the league on 84 points, which doesn't seem like enough to me. It seems like life doesn't get that good where you just get to win a league. Because that means you can endure lots of shit days where you draw and what have you, and go, we still won the league. So I think we need to, but realistically, City are going to bring a higher ratio. I mean, they're tracking at something like 79 points for their final thing. That's not going to happen. So I think we have to go more than, we have to start winning, say 4 and 6. I think that needs to be win 4, draw 2, not in that order necessarily. Now that's the easy way of saying how we're going to win the league. I think having less injuries, navigating January was a big deal in the near quadruple season when we had no Mo and Sadio. This time we've got just no Mo and we've got no Endo, but we've got injuries. But we came out of it in that season. I think we quietly just won all the games. We navigated a League Cup semi against Arsenal. We won the 2 or 3 league games you play.
Yeah.
The end of this phase before we get Mo and Endo back, we've got Chelsea and Arsenal. Again, and we need to get the other side on. I think we're still unbeaten the other side of that Arsenal game. I'm not even going to say how many we need to win. I'm feeling good about it. I think it's a season for not losing your shit when you don't win the game, and that's difficult for me personally to come to terms with.
How much is it, do you think, on us, and how much is on Manchester City? Rob just mentioned they're still the bookies' favourites. They still feel like the big ones. Is it a case of, what I'm asking, I guess, is what's the biggest factor in us going to be win the league? Is it City and what they do and don't do, or is there a way that we can make it that it almost doesn't matter what they do? Because we're ahead of them now, and we've got them to play at home.
I think it's a little bit of both, if I'm honest. I think Liverpool have got I think what's interesting about what Liverpool is saying is that they just keep saying, let's get to the end of Feb. Jürgen said it a couple of times. Virgil said it in an interview the other day. Let's get to the end of February, middle of March, see where we are. And I think they're very much of the opinion that, we're seeing this day to day. We shouldn't be where we are now. We're probably a year or two early from the rebuild that we're top of the league at Christmas. Let's just do what we're doing. We're not doing anything wrong. Let's do what we're doing. Let's take game by game. You get to the end of February and we're fucking top or thereabouts, then we kick on, boys, and we have that sort of mentality where it's every game matters and you've got to win every game. And I think there's a point at which I agree with you, Rob. You get the other side of Arsenal and you've won your games and you haven't got beat by Arsenal. It doesn't really matter what Man City do because then it's sort of still within your power. I think where we don't want to be is behind Man City at any point, really, because I think that then leads into the narrative, but also the momentum thing that City bring year on year, whereby they just go on. We all say they won't win 12 games, and then they fucking win 11. And you go, yeah, but they haven't won 12 yet, and then they win the 12. Do you know what I mean? I think we can't get into that because if the league becomes Liverpool have got to win every game to win the league, then I'm not sure that's within our ability. So I don't think it can be that. So it's a funny one of doing enough to stay there or thereabouts and not giving City the oxygen to sort of just kick on and win.
Do you think it's mainly about them not being the City they have been? Because I can't. If they bring their Cityness, right, I think we can all go home. I think the idea that finishing ahead of City wins this league, the idea that they'll finish lower than second is laughable for me. We've got to, I mean, they've done this a few seasons where this flaky little spell. This has been their flakiest spell, though. That's the thing that gives me hope that maybe they're not done with their flakiness. Maybe not next couple of games, but we need that to come back. They can't just be stable now. And if they are stable, I don't think it matters what we do.
But it does because we're ahead of them.
Yeah, but it's so narrow. We haven't got, how many games we got left? 19?
Yeah.
We haven't got a 17 out of 19 run in us, I don't think. And that's not an unreasonable thing to say.
But you feel like they might have?
Yeah, okay, I may be slightly exaggerating.
No, I'm just
by a couple of
wondering.
games either way, I might be slightly exaggerating. So it's a big ask for them. It's certainly not, if somebody said to you, Crystal Ball, City went and won 18 of their 19 or 16 of their 19, so winning 16 of their 19 would do it. I think you go, yeah, that wasn't surprising looking back on it. But then it was surprising that they only won, they had a spell recently, was it? I think they won 2 or 3 in 8. That's really poor, really piss poor. And if they just take another little run where it's 5, where they win 1 in 5 or something, you know, and we just up the ante slightly. I don't know, but I do think it's not it's all about them. But what Ben said is, it's about the two things happening, but they really do have to play their part, I think.
I think it's easy to tell yourself that they'll just be City. And I take Rob's point about 16 out of 19, but when you actually look at the games they'd have to win, they've got to come to Anfield, I think they've got to go to Tottenham, they've got to go to Newcastle,
they've got to be better.
They've got to play Arsenal, they've got to play Arsenal at the Etihad. So I just think, I mean, they can still get a lot of points, of course, but I think Neil said before, if they won every game from now to the end of the season, they get 97.
Yeah.
So, you know, you only have to drop points in a few games for it to be like they're going to finish below 90 points. So for a while, I've thought, just pluck the number out there, but I think if Liverpool get 90 points, they win the league, and I think we can do.
Do you think we get 90?
I think we can do. I don't know if we will. I don't think it's a massive ask if we get going. But my worry is that I think obviously to get 90, you've got to win something like. It helps to win like 7 or 8 on the bounce, which I don't think we've quite shown yet.
No.
I think the away forms played a part in that, but then when I think about stuff like that, I think the away games have been like largely quite difficult so far this season. I agree with Ben. I think if you're thereabouts in February, March, I think you can get into a mindset of like we go now. You've seen Liverpool do that before. Like Ben said, they've often been chasing City by points, which can get your head in a bit. But no, I do understand why people are a little bit worried about City. And I think the other night played into it when they won at Goodison, because you know for the first half when they went 1-0 down, I think you can tell yourself, oh, they really are. They're not the City they were. Yeah. And then they win second half and people go, they look back to what they are. I'm not sure. I think you know they've got the European Cup to focus on as well. I think they go far in that. I think we could really do with Arsenal staying in it a little bit and us ideally leading, because I think City can tell themselves a story that it's not quite our year this year, we could win another Champions League.
I mean, it feels too much like graft to them when they've got that to do.
I just think even if they are really good, which you know they may well be, it'll still be a low tally compared to what they've got in previous years. Like I said, if they won every game, they get 97, but they're not going to win every game, are they? So call it. They'd have to go at some pace to get more than 90 points. Yeah. Like a ridiculous pace to get more than 90 points.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong in terms of. It's not the death of hope. I'm not trying to say I think they're going to win 16 out of 19, so we better keep it clever. But I just don't know. I mean, you referenced the betting, John. They're back to being odds on again, just 4 to 5. Yeah. So they're about 58%. But 58% isn't guaranteed they're going to win this league.
Yeah.
58% means it's 42% chance, like close to even, someone else is going to win it. We've just got to make sure that. I suppose we can put some distance between us and Arsenal, and last night didn't do any harm. Then maybe it becomes more interesting.
Little break now, then we'll talk about the squad.
And Erdinger, please.
Stop! Don't forget the best bit.
So in terms of what it might take, in terms of players, no one yet's mentioned any transfers, which is quite interesting. We've got January window coming up. You know, when you're looking at, listen, everything could help, can't it? New player could help, no injuries would help, City fucking falling off a cliff would help. You know, some nice refereeing decisions, you know, all the things that you can sort of, you know, point to. You know, Darwin suddenly becoming the best forward in the world. All these things are a factor. But in terms of getting one in January, is that a big thing? Is that, you know, a nice bonus? Like, or are you looking at it and thinking, no, do you know what, we've got enough, and the familiarity of the squad might actually be a strength?
I'm always of the opinion that if they've got their eyes on a player that they're thinking about doing in the summer, and they've got the ability to do it now, then fucking do it, because you can't hit. So I from what Klopp's saying, Robertson's going to be out till the end of January. Yeah. Simicast probably longer.
Was Newcastle was come out yesterday saying, "Oh yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to be out for the season." I was like, I wasn't worried about it until you've just said that. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll probably play again.
I'll play the Charity Shield next year. I wonder whether there's some value in getting a left back, and I also wonder. I mean, look, it's not my money, so I just fucking buy anyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just like the option. But I also think there's a couple of things that can happen internally that then make Liverpool, like if you get 15 games out of Thiago between end of Jan and the end of the season, I think that's a massive thing because he's got the ability to dictate pace. He can control the game. He can school some of your sort of less experienced players at the minute. He can help things tick over. I think that's a big thing. I don't know. I think Liverpool need to keep themselves in a position, and however that happens, let's just keep ourselves in that ability to be within striking distance. From the start of the season, I've said if Liverpool are within striking distance at the end of March, then I'll take that. And I was talking 6, 8, 9 points behind, and you've got City to play, and you've got someone to play. Now, where you're at the top of the league, I think where it's all gone a bit mad the last sort of week is that you've had this opportunity almost presented to you with what City have been up to, and you know we've sort of fluffed our lines a little bit in the home games with Arsenal and United, but we've still now got this opportunity because of the way results are, and you just because it's so like nearly there, if we kick on and we do X and Y, then we might win the league. It sort of just feels a bit unusual. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm sort of it, and like I think can Liverpool win 19 games to win the league?
Do you have this sort of recurring thing, right? Waking dream where I go, can we just stop the season now? It reminds me of there's a Seinfeld episode which I love with George character. He finds out from somebody else that she wants to chuck him, and she knows he's too good for him, and he doesn't want to get chucked, so he just avoids her for a week. He just won't take any messages when she thinks, well, she can't technically chuck him. He's not chucked by this fit girl.
He's still in a relationship.
And and I sort of feel this about the league at the moment. I think maybe just if there's a lot of snow for a month or so, can't play any games. Still
It's been a mild winter, man.
It's still top of the league in February. I don't know. I just, it's one of those things. It's dare to dream time, isn't it? It's way beyond what we thought. I feel almost. Part of me's annoyed by it. I was bedding in August. I was bedding in for thinking we'll get back in the Champions League. And that UEFA Cup's there to be won. If we'd been a snug third, 10 points off top now, but about 5 points clear of fifth, I think a lovely season. Yeah. now
Right in comfort zone.
Now I'm in bits. Now it's like, oh God, goals against Burnley, and I'm fucking running around rooms and and that Monday game's suddenly the biggest game in our history. Fucking hell. What do we do, John? Who do you get in touch with?
What do we do, Paddy? Keep our heads, I guess.
Yeah, I sort of, on one hand, I'm quite stressed about it because I think it's like a real opportunity to win the league this season. So, I said on a show earlier, like, they could really do it win the league because I think, while I'm saying, I think 90 would win it this season, I don't think 90 will win it next season. I think City will sort themselves out. I think Arsenal will keep getting better and things. So they've got a real opportunity and the fact at the top. But then on the other hand, when you talk about points, like in Klopp's good seasons at Liverpool, we've never not got like 85 to 90. And I think as much as people are talking about, so we don't know how good the side are, and I think there's areas we can improve. We still top the league, so I think we will get mid-80s. I guarantee we get mid-80s now. So I think we just need to be a little bit better to get to possibly 90 or a little bit more to win it. You look at the squad and I think I don't think they'll strengthen in January. I just don't think they will. I think the areas that you'd maybe say we could do with right now, but I'd say forward, but they're not going to do another forward.
No.
Left back, I'd say Ben's point, but they're not going to buy a left back. I don't think they're going to do that. But if you get more goals out of the forwards, we're top of the league now, and other than Salah, none of them are really firing. I still think Nunez will score. I still think he'll start scoring. I still think it'd be really important for us. Diaz, I've been a bit critical of, but it doesn't take a lot to see Diaz all of a sudden become a really important player for Liverpool again. I don't really buy this, the injuries done him thing, because I've seen him play for like Colombia, and I've seen him have good games for Liverpool this season. I just think he's out of form, which sometimes happens.
His head's a bit wrecked.
I think we were so used to Salah and Mane always virtually being in form. And if one of them wasn't, the other one was. But you forget, Firmino's an all-time Liverpool great, and he had periods where he was out of form. Do you know what I mean? But we're still winning things, and we're still picking up points and winning games every week. So I think the forward line is an area of frustration, and I understand why people are a bit worried about it. But I do think, if we were to win the league, we need more from them, especially when Salah goes. But I think we will. I think we will get more from them. I think Gakpo looked good the other day on the left. I think that's something to look at. I think if we keep Jota fit, Jota's by far one of the best forwards in the league. He'd walk into any of the sides, walk into City's side, he'd walk into Arsenal's side because of the output and how effective he is in terms of getting goals. So I think he's massive. I think if City is City and they get more than 90 points, I think you might have to cop for it. But I think anything less than that, I think we've got to be there. We've got to be there.
You keep mentioning get to March, the manager said it, you were saying it there. If we can, and if we can get, if 1st of March, we're same as we are now, say 2 points clear of whoever, Arsenal, City or whoever it is, that's when the lads who've been there and done it really count, don't they? And, I reckon Mo Salah will be going away to AFCON, in 2 minds really. Obviously he loves playing for Egypt, but he knows there's a league to win, he's been tweeting about it, and so he sort of knows, and so he's probably thinking like, if we can get back and just be where we are now, I'd sort of take that, and then he's on it, then he can be speaking to the forwards, listen, this is what we want to do. You've got the captain who's won a league title, would love to lift one, I'm sure, and be part of that select group. There's only so many players who've won leagues at Liverpool, well, quite a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, there's even less who sort of lifted it. He sort of wants to be part of that. Trent's won one, Jota's not won a league, but he's won trophies at Liverpool, Thiago's won stuff. That's where those guys, who to be fair, have stepped up, I think, this season generally, can really go, right, this is what we do now.
Absolutely, and I think that's key, and I think it's an important point to note that they just keep saying it. End of Feb, start of March, end of Feb, start of March, and it's almost like they're trying to just almost convince.
It's a bit old school, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's convince everyone themselves. Look, you're in the mix here, but just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Keep playing your footy. There's no pressure. You don't need the pressure. We'll look after that. You just keep playing. It's just another game. It doesn't matter, beyond expectations. But I think then, as you say, come March time, and it's like, what's going on, lads? It's like, oh yeah, it's fucking win the league time, boys. Strap yourselves in. Because listen, if you've got a knock, fuck it off. You're playing. Do you know what I mean? There's none of this no more. We're not saving legs. There's nothing to save them for.
Yeah.
We've got 2 months' work here, boys. We go Saturday, we win. We go Thursday, we win. We go again. We just keep winning, boys. This is it now. There's no fucking. If you're not into it, that's fine. You can sit over there on the bench. We'll do it. And I think there's. I think on the slide they're very confident. But I think
confident with the letter.
Yeah.
I think they've got gears as well. I think if you look at great Liverpool seasons recently, there was talk from 18, 19 around this time. I mean, it exploded a bit in December because we had a few big wins against United and Arsenal and things like that. But there was talk in October, November when we were top of the league that season that things weren't quite clicking. They were playing
85 minutes into that Everton game, which was December the 1st. I was like,
we were trying we were playing Salah up front, weren't we? And Firmino off. There was loads of talk about that. Even the year we go for all 4. We walk out to Stamford Bridge on the 2nd of January and we're something daft 12 points behind, and people are saying, it's not quite, and then when they get something in the sight and they think, no, we can have a go at this here, which is what Ben's talking about. I think they can change gears. I think Van Dijk and players who've been there and done that know that. I think they look around the squad and go, all these players, are good enough for us to be where we are, but they're only going to get better. That's what gives me confidence. I think we've seen really good flashes of form from Szoboszlai, some of the signings, McAllister. They're all going to get better because players do get better on the clock. It's very rare a player doesn't, you know what I mean? Even Gravenberch, someone who's not been great recently, well, he's only got to get better, isn't he? Because that's just the manager, it's just the team he's playing in. That back end of the season, there was 8 games to go. He could be the hero, do you know what I mean? I think there's loads of players like that who I think are ready to step up, and that's why I think we've got reason to be confident.
And there's Curtis, and there's Elliot. It just feels there's a lot of them now.
Yeah.
It feels like
you just need enough to step up at different times and make things happen.
It's the first time for them as well, isn't it? I think the year we went for all 4, or even last season, some of them were a bit worn out by it all.
Yeah.
They'd had so many near misses, whereas it's fresh for these boys, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a new team.
I remember thinking, in that season when we were chasing City down and trying to do that quadruple, we had to go to the Etihad and win, didn't we? And we nearly got blown away. We got a draw out of it.
Yeah.
But that midfield got overrun that day, our midfield. To me, that was the writing on the wall that
Well, they stay a point ahead that day, and then they just win the rest of them, don't they? Yeah.
But I felt you could see that there was the beginning of the end of our great midfield. Something wasn't right with Fabinho and Henderson and Thiago, that thing. But now these lads, so we've seen it recently. You know, okay, Gravenberch, he's fantastic his first handful of games. Then recently you go, fucking hell, what's up with him? But then you pick a team for West Ham in the League Cup, and you've got Endo, Curtis and Elliott with Szoboszlai. They're all fucking brilliant. They all give individually the best midfield performance of the season. And that's no McAllister and that's no Gravenberch. And you know, I'm quite excited for this little phase without Mo Salah, in a certain sense. I'd have Mo every day of the week. But I think we can play an interesting way. I think my best bet is that West Ham game is instructive to Klopp. Elliott was so good off the right there, like a right-sided midfielder though. And I think it's sort of like a 4-4-2, and I think Núñez will be allowed to pull left and somebody will play to his right. Yeah. Whether it's Diaz or Gakpo dropped in. I could be wrong which side they are, but I think almost like a 2.
But Jota can do a bit of that.
Jota could be, you could have Núñez and Jota. Yeah. Núñez coming off the left, and you can pick any ones you want, but I like those combinations. I think Elliott as a sort of 10 wide right guys, it could be the key player for this phase. It's my hunch anyway.
Rob was saying before, you lie awake at night, Ben, and you sort of dares a dream, and then you almost kind of stop yourself early because you're like, no, calm down. But I do think about the party because we didn't get a belter last time.
Oh, don't do the party, John.
Yeah, but I'm keeping my powders dry.
Keep your party
and I've
dry.
got it locked away in a fucking waterproof case until March. And then my powder's going to get fucking very sullied. I'm getting in the mix.
Many a lad have said that and come a cropper.
I'm not allowing myself to get involved in them thoughts at this point. But this show's like a bit out of me. I'm like, no, it's none of our business.
No, don't jinx anything.
We're not jinxing, we're just taking one game at a time.
I'm not jinxing anything, it's just late at night, so I can't stay. My mind just drifts to the...
That's an invasive thought, that. You make that go, John. Make that go.
That's like standing on the platform, the train's coming, thinking, what's happening if I jumped in front of you?
Think about your own death. Something better than ruining winning the league by invasive thought. I have those things like I can see Mo Salah lifting, get it out of your head, get it out of your head.
You don't need to think about that. Let's not think about that. We've thought about it too many times. The stuff you've been saying then, Rob, about the possibilities in the lineup the next. I think you've got almost the perfect fixture list really, in that I think we'll rotate heavily in these cup games coming up, but still have a strong side. But come the business end, come March, when you've got that little hub of fucking first teamers, I think that excessive rotation drifts slightly, and it becomes 8, 9. Starting every week.
Have you seen the gaps in these games? In this January to early Feb phase, we were without Mo. The spread of time is he can go as strong. Okay, he's weakened, but he can go as strong as he has. I mean, the gap between we got Newcastle coming up, which is a 6-day gap from the game we just played. There's another 6 days before Arsenal in the cup. So, and then you got Fulham 3 days later. So there might be a prioritise Fulham, rest a few. But then after Fulham, I think it's 10, 11 days to Bournemouth. And after Bournemouth, what? Got the second leg, and then there's another 10 days till Chelsea. So that the spread out is there. There's no real need for rotation, I don't think. There's one player I'm wrapping in cotton wool though, Joe Gomez. He's our most important player at the moment. Because there's only one of him. And we have no left backs. You know, the drop off from Joe to like the Luke Chambers, Callum Scanlons, no disrespect to them, is massive. And Joe's playing well. So to me, Joe, you don't want to repeat games. The test is Arsenal in the cup, Fulham in the cup. Does Joe play both? Do you take a chance with that? Would you go, I don't know. He's the one who keeps me up nights the most. Joe, don't.
Joe, just be careful, mate. Look 3 ways before crossing the road. Take it easy. Stay off this. It's lovely. But you do an isotonic version, mate. Maybe get on that. Listen, nice one. To Erdinger and to my boils for having us. Let us know how wet your powder is in the comments below. Up the roads.